strength. You are my Redeemer. Hide me behind the cross. Speak to me. Speak through me. For it's not about me. It's all about you. In Jesus' name. Pastor gave us a printout. And I'm supposed to do part 2, followed behind Sister Boone, Reverend Boone.
Amen.
And he had all this jumbo up there, who's, and I look at the eyes and the who's and the... I said, what is he talking about? So I had to go old school.
It's all right. It's fine.
Dig in the scripture. Read it several times and let the Lord speak to me.
There it is. That's what you do.
Now this has kept me up all week long. I have not had no sleep. But it's a good word.
Amen.
He had a caption on there that said, it's often the small things that no one sees.
Right.
Result in the big things that everybody wants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That grabbed me.
Mm.
So I'm just going to give you my own testimony about that.
All right.
And this is a true story. Some of you were here at the time, and some of you might not have been here.
All right. Tell your story.
Where is Melanie? She wanted to hear this story when she was at my house. You got it. There was a 12-year-old girl some time ago that lived at 1022 Eugene. Then there was, in that house, she was the oldest of 8 children, a mother and a father. Across the street lived, at 1035 Eugene, Miss Mattie. Miss Mattie lived there with her mother, Sister Crawford, her husband, who was a retired Navy man, and a son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of all the children on the street, Miss Mattie asked my mother if I could come over and help her sometime. Back then, you had to ask the parents' permission, you know. You don't do that no more. They just go. And so Mom said yes. Miss Mattie was a tall, stately woman, very proud. Nobody really liked her on the street because they said she was stuck up.
Oh, Lord.
But she wasn't.
Mm.
And she entertained a lot. She had bridge parties, and she also had a garden club, and she'd have these luncheons on Saturday. And she would have me over and teach me how to make canopies and those nice little dainty cut-out sandwiches with the spreads on them and the sugar that was sugar cubes that you pick up with tongs, silver. And she would teach me how to make coffee and tea in silver teapots and set the table. Now, this son of hers, handsome. Now, he was a hunk. I love to look at him. I'm 12. And his girlfriends would say, who is that? Who is that in your mama's kitchen? Oh, that's that little girl living across the street. Well, when he looked at me, I was swooning, oh, Lord. That was the handsomest man I ever seen. He wore his white shorts and sweaters. He played tennis. He'd go swimming. And I'm sitting over there on the porch just looking. Lord have mercy. I'm a teenager. You know how we get. Y'all ain't forgot.
That's the truth.
We all had that, you know. And so, on and on and on, she began to take me to Joe's Tabernacle Church with her. I loved that because she let me sing in the choir. I was not a member.
Wow. Yeah.
Back then. Then you could go and sing in these people's choirs, and you didn't have to be a member.
Right.
Because they were trying to save souls through the children.
Yeah, right.
And we'd go on Thursday from school for Buds of Promise. That's what we called it. On Thursday afternoon for a Bible study. So that's how I kind of knew her. We're going to fast forward to me being a divorcee, 50 years old, living in a dump. That's just what it was. A dump. But I tried to make it a home for me and my 6 children. This is going to get good. You'll hear a miracle right now. Just wait. So then, my mom let me know that Miss Mattie had passed. And she let me know when the service was. I went. Because she was dear to me. She taught me a lot. Upon leaving, I'm sitting there and I'm looking for this handsome man that I once knew. And I'm looking, and I don't see him. Now, she only had the one child. And when I finally did look on the front seat, there was this man that looked so old and shriveled up. He looked like he was about 80.
Wow.
And I'm saying, man, what happened to him? You hear me?
I know that's right.
You know, I'll get to what happened pretty soon. And so, this is a small thing now, y'all get this. Upon leaving, I gave him a note. I said, if you need anything, give me a call. And my phone number. That day, that evening of the funeral, he called. He says, Martha, everybody's gone. And I have not had anything to eat.
Wow.
He said, would you come and fix me something to eat? Now, you know I don't drive, never have. That's like Miss Daisy. I'll tell you that story one day when I tried it. So he says, get a cab and come on, and I'll pay for it. When I got over here, this is 1035 Eugene.
Wow.
He's standing there holding on a walker with the door open, and I paid the cab from the money he gave me. I come in and the house looks the same way it looked when I was a little girl. Until I went around the corner in the dining room and there was all this hospital equipment. Chairs and walkers and lifts and diapers and chucks. Anybody do home care, you know what all that stuff is. And I'm saying, man, what happened?
What happened?
So I fixed him something to eat. He says, I don't eat much. I drink more than I eat. I didn't pay any attention to that. He ate and he said, now will you sit down? I said, yeah, what do you need? He says, well, I need a caregiver. He says, every day. He says, I go to chemo twice a week. I have doctor's visits. I need somebody here to get me ready for these various trips that I have to take. I need somebody to cook for me. He said, I need somebody to bathe me. Now my mind, the calculator is going on in my head. Because I've been doing this a lot of years, so I know how much money I'm going to make.
Right.
And that's all I got to do? Oh, I can do that. He said, will you take the job? I said, yes. But the Spirit caught me and chastised me right there. Because my mind was on money. And he let me know this is not your call. This is a mission I'm sending you on.
Right.
You get me?
Yeah.
He will speak.
Yes, he
Put
will.
me in check right quick. He says the next thing, he says, now, Merrill Lynch has a trust fund for me. My way to the doctor and wherever I have to go is already taken care of. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about the bills in the house because they take care of that too. They allot so much money for food for the month. He said, which I don't eat much. I drink more than I eat. I ain't caught that check. You know, he keeps iterating that. So then I said, okay, I'll take it. He says, I have to live 1 year. You have to keep me alive. 1 year. I'm looking at this skeleton. I felt like Noah.
Keep him alive.
He says, keep me alive for 1 year, and this all will be mine.
Wow.
I said, Lord, how can I do that? Then the next thing, if that wasn't bad enough, he says, I can't pay you but $50 a week. What?
To keep him alive.
But you have to keep me alive. I want y'all to get this. And I want you to listen closely, young people especially. I began to do everything I was supposed to do. It started working out pretty good for 6 months. 6 months. 6 months, the devil woke up. And they told Reverend, I wish he was here, Dr. Gurdon, that your Sunday school teacher and your missionary president and your choir member is living down the street with a man, and she done left her children. You know how we do. And I tell you the truth. I wish he was here.
Yeah.
They talked to him so much till he decided to come down there and see. You know how y'all can word the preacher. Lord have mercy. He walks down there and he says, I asked the door and I says, hey, Reverend. He said, Sister Martha, what's going on in here? I said, you know how it goes. I said, come on in. He walked around the corner and I introduced him to Mr. Simmons. He said, what? Mr. Salmon said, well, I'm glad to meet you. He said, but your member has been trying to convert me ever since you've been here. She got to pray every morning before she starts in work, and I got tired of hearing it. But now I'm kind of used to it. She's just about to convert me. Just about. He says, now I'm an alcoholic. And I tell her to go in there and fix me a drink. I say, put a half a glass of vodka. Now this is not little glasses. This is a regular drinking glass. And fill the rest up with orange juice. He said, but I pay attention because she's giving me more orange juice. He says she dilutes it every day until I'm now drinking more orange juice than I am vodka. Mary said, that sounds about like her. He said, that sounds about like her. He says, well, I'm glad to meet you. He says, you stop back anytime. He says, she's taking good care of me. I said, thank you, daughter. So the Reverend says, Sister Martha, I'll see you later. He comes back and gives these people the report.
Tell the truth.
Several times, I had to put him in VA. He was a veteran. I kept him alive, me and the Lord, 14 months. Y'all ain't heard nothing yet.
Oh, wow.
This is the shouting part I'm making now. He says, call your pastor and call my attorney, Mr. Hall, and have them come to the hospital. I said, okay. I did that. And Dr. Gurdon and Mr. Hall arrived at the same time. And he said to me, you go out of the room. I need to talk to them. They come out. I wonder, what did he say? You see, God is about timing. I got to tell you about timing.
Come on.
Pastor Gurdon talked about weak timing. Pastor Bonner talked about timing. When your time and God's time. See, you got to learn how to wait. And you got to learn how to be patient.
That's real.
And you got to learn how to not grumble. And you got to be prayerful. And you can't be haughty and all puffed up.
All right.
Like you all that.
Yeah.
Because it's not your call.
Yeah.
It's his mission. I'm trying to help you.
Come on.
So then he says, Reverend Gurdon leaves out and he's shaking his head. Mr. Hall leaves out and he's shaking his head. He said, I see you, Martha. I said, okay, Reverend. I go in the room and Mr. Sammons didn't say anything about what they talked about.
You're right.
He says, you can go home now because they're going to keep me here a while. He says, I probably won't get back to the house.
Wow.
Then you could catch a bus right here on 30th Street and it would take you right to VA. It was on Cold Spring Road. A few weeks later, he passed.
Wow.
Y'all ain't gonna believe this. You won't believe it. He passed. He had his funeral in St. Louis. It was already prearranged. He was buried in the military cemetery there.
Right, right.
Reverend took me to the funeral. He had a wife there, which He had got so sick she couldn't take care of him no more, so she sent him to his mama. God help.
Right. Wow.
Nothing was on the table but drinks. She's having a party already. No food in the house. I felt so bad. Reverend says, let me take you and get you something to eat. I couldn't eat because I'd never seen people like this.
Wow.
You know, you usually have church folks and foods there and this. They wasn't treating you nice at all.
Right, right.
We go to the funeral and I come back. The next week I'm there and the people are getting the equipment out of the house. And there's a lot of running in and out and I'm cleaning up. And there stood Mr. Hall. I'm saying, Mr. Hall, what are you doing here? He said, sit down, Miss Bullets. I said, okay. He said, Mr. Salmons had a will. I said, what? He said, he had a will. And he wants that organ to go to a young man in St. Louis that's taking music. He wants the silver to go to his first wife. I said, okay. But he wants you to have this house. Now, Melody's been to my house. I ain't got no junk neither. It ain't junk. I would never be able to buy it.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
do you mean? Oh, you have it. And everything in it is yours. He not only, Mrs. Hall said, willed it to you, he deeded it to you. So anybody that calls you about it, tell them to call me. Now, I didn't know till then there was a difference between a will and a deed. But I found out.
Right.
Right quick.
Yeah.
So I called my counselor, which is Dr. Gerton. I said, Reverend, do you know what? Yeah. I know. He told me when we was at the hospital that day. I said, well, he said, don't tell you because you would refuse it.
Right. Right.
He didn't want you to know. He says, now what you do, you pack your stuff up and you and them children and y'all move on over here. It's yours as we speak. You don't have to wait on nobody. The only thing I brought here was a king-size bed and our clothes. That's it.
Wow.
All right.
And I'm still living in the same. Yes. It's about time.
Yeah.
And God sets you up. Don't sweat this little stuff. Don't sweat meager wages. Don't sweat being aggressive promotion.
Come on now.
Don't sweat
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's about time.
Say that.
You hear me? And God has a way when he gets ready of opening up some windows for me. If you just be still. Sometimes you have to go to the left. Sometimes you have to go to the right. Sometimes you might have to back up. Sometimes you might have to stand still. Sometimes you might have to go in your secret closet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might have to cry all night.
Yeah.
But it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Because he's setting you up for the big finish. I don't have much time no more. I gotta make every second count.
Yeah.
Every minute count.
Go ahead.
I ain't got no time to waste.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no junk. I don't have time for it.
Wow.
I'm on my way somewhere. And my eyes is fixed.
Yeah.
And I'm going
Yeah.
to see my king. And he's going to say, welcome. Welcome. You've been faithful. I've been faithful.
Yeah.
I've been faithful.
Yeah.
And he's going to reward me. Fight the good fight of faith. Don't get too cocky. Don't get too important. Don't talk so much. Sometimes shut up
Yeah.
and let him speak. Because he will. He will deliver. He will give you the desires. I would say when I was a little girl, I'm going to have all these nice things. When I get grown, if she got it. And God knows. Have I got it, baby? I'm done.
I think y'all can do better than that. Stand on your feet. Mother Pullins has dropped. She has dropped. She has